Awesome. All right. Welcome to the team call, everybody. Thanks for hopping on tonight. So I'm just going to go over a few of the new announcements that Beachbody has announced, just some things that have been going on the past couple weeks. And then I will be giving it to Maria and Nikki so they can chat. So I'm sure a lot of you have seen that Allison and I have posted about the $200 that you can earn. If you are, there's a few requirements. So a lot of you know, or if you're new, you may not know that we have a big event in every summer, and it's our annual convention called Summit. And so if you have a ticket to Summit by the end of the month, and you are a diamond or below in rank, then you can earn $200 if you hit Success Club 5 in October, November, December. So again, challenge packs are 2 Success Club points. Shakeology on Home Direct is 2 Success Club points. So there's a few ways to earn points, but for the most part, it's usually about 3 sales. And so that's how you'll get Success Club 5 or 6. And so if you help 3 people, October, November, December, then you can earn $200, which is really nice because I know a lot of people have said that's like the price of their flight to get there. So that's a nice way to get it covered. So that's a really fun incentive for people that are going to Summit, and or if you need to buy a ticket, they're doing a sale this month as well for $145. So that's definitely like a nice little goal to have, that you're like basically earning like $80 to $90 a month just to hit Success Club. So that's pretty amazing. A Little More Obsessed comes out tomorrow. So people that have products on HD, so if you have Shakeology coming, Performance Line, things like that, on Home Direct, then you will have access to A Little Obsessed. I believe it's 5 or 6 workouts. So that's pretty exciting. So that launches tomorrow. Super Saturday is October 20th. So that's like a quarterly event that local places run these events. So if you go to coachfaq.com and just put in Super Saturday, you'll be able to get info on putting in your zip code, seeing where local events are around you. They're really fun to get to. They might be small in your area, or they might be huge in your area. You watch a corporate event with all the new things coming out. There might be guest speakers. There's coaches that talk about their stories. It's super inspiring. Some of them have some of the celebrity trainers at them, so you can do workouts with them. There's always a workout. So they're anywhere from like usually around 4 hours. Just really inspiring, really fun. A great opportunity to bring people that are your friends that aren't coaches yet that are thinking about it, because it's great to get them in that energy, because it's like just really fun, really exciting, and it just gets you, whoa, my chair just almost fell over. It gets you into this, like, you're just surrounded by all these like-minded people. So definitely check it out. If you have one within a couple hours of you, then you really should try to get to one. If you have coaches near you, then you should team up and go together, because it makes it a lot of fun. So Fruit Punch Energize is coming out. That'll be in February, which is really exciting. And Energize will be in those sticks, which is really cool, because I feel like the squares are kind of hard to pour into, like, when you're pouring them into the cup, it's hard. So I like that they're doing sticks. So that's awesome. Portion Fix. So that's the new nutrition program that Autumn's coming out with, which will be coming in the spring. It'll be kind of like with 2B Mindset, a different tab on your nutrition, the nutrition tab in On Demand. So it's a separate thing. It'll have 30 videos. You'll get the containers, the principles of the plan, containers, cookbook, and then a tote. So that'll be something different that people can get their hands on as well. If people order it from March to April, then you'll get the live versions of 21 Day Fix and 21 Day Fix Extreme that they're going to be reshooting, which is really amazing, because people love 21 Day Fix. I have people still messaging me that are like, I just have 21 Day Fix DVDs. So this is going to be a great way to get people to doing the new ones. People that love 21 Day Fix being like, oh, they revamped it, they're doing new ones. It's just going to be a whole new market that we can reach. So that's really awesome. A lot of you have probably seen that Leadership was this weekend, and so that's where they announced the new products coming. So just kind of like get to know where you are in your rank and where your next goal is to be. So if you are a 1-star by the end of the year, and I know some of you have reached out to me with your goals, and I know some of you have that goal, so then you can get an earn trip to the new Leadership Conference. So that's in February. So just, again, go to Coach FAQ, look up that event, because that's something you really want to be reaching for. If you want to be 1-star, then you can earn that trip and you can earn your hotel room if you have a certain number of elite points. So that's something that's really fun. Really, really good event. They're really small, so you learn a lot because it's all the girls that are in the same rank as you. And then that's in California. Leadership was announced it's going to be in Scottsdale, Arizona next year. And you have to be 5-star for that. So it's a year from now. So if you have goals to be pushing your business forward and you want to be 1-star by the new year, then just think about like reverse engineering that you could, like, a year from now, absolutely be 5-star. So just keep those things in mind. They're really amazing conferences that you just can learn so much from. Like leadership, it was like 200 coaches were there, which is insane. So it's really an honor to get to go to those. So keep those in mind as you're growing your business, to have goals like that so that you can grow, and then you learn more about leadership, which is then going to make your business grow even more. And shout out to Emily. She's at Success Club 4, and Emily and Maria is at Success Club 2 under her husband, but she made a sale, and Emily got a new coach this week as well. So I just wanted to shout those girls out, and I think that's it. So Maria and Nikki are both on. So I'm super excited to have Maria and Nikki on here. I know that you guys know that they were able to advance to diamond. They were our newest diamonds. And so I've been working and talking with them a lot the past few months, and they're both implementing a lot. They both have had, I feel like, just a change in mindset, and I've learned from them. I know coaches on our team have been learning from them. So I think it's important for you guys to just hear what they're doing. So make sure you have pen to take notes, and just whenever you hear something that sounds good to you, just write it down. If you have any questions about what they're saying, make sure you write it down so that you can ask them at the end. So they're just going to kind of share. Maria's going to go first, I think, and then Nikki. And then I'm going to kind of share what I feel like they've done that I've seen from my end as well to grow. So Maria, I'm going to unmute you, or you unmuted yourself.
Hello. Oh my goodness.
Hi.
So I tried to just write down some things to tell you guys that, but I feel like honestly the biggest thing was just saying like, I am doing this, or I'm going to do this. Like I've said for how long that I wanted to be diamond. And then I would just not do the actions that would get me there. So finally September, I'm like there's no ifs, ands, and buts. Like whatever it takes, I'm going to do this. So I think that was like the biggest thing, was just having like this mindset shift that that's the way it's going to be. Before, like I would say a lot of the times I would be like, I did some work today. I didn't get it all done, but I'm just going to go to bed. I'll do it up. I'll make it up tomorrow. I would never make it up. So then in September, I'm like, no, I have to do this before I go to bed. And I think it did help a lot having just like an accountability with someone, which I was the September intern, but I think just having the accountability of like, so I sent her a picture of, it was our goal to always do 10 invites, 10 follow-ups, 10 new conversations, and 10 ads. So I wrote them down in a notebook just so it was easy to send a picture. And so I would do that every night. And a lot of times it wasn't until like 9:30 or 10 o'clock that I was sitting down to do my work. So I was like sending these pictures at like 11 o'clock at night. But it's like, I'm not going to bed until it's done. And also I think part of that shift was taking ownership of my own business. And I had Adam, he's been signed up since the very, very beginning. But Stephanie, I was like, okay, I'm signing up my mom, because I knew I needed another coach on my other leg. So I feel like kind of just taking that ownership of my own business and being like, I know it's another expense, but in the long run, it's going to help me out. And so kind of before that, I was like, I'll sign her up like right before maybe I'm ready to sign another coach. And so then I was just like, no, I'm going to do this. And honestly, now she's on my weaker leg, I guess I would say. And so she's the one that I'm going to build to diamond this time. So really it's helping my favor, because now I have control of that other leg too. So that kind of helped me. I feel like too, what I made a difference in my language with my people was if I was going to get them they were signing up with the challenge pack right away, I would throw in the discount coach. And I think just the language that I tried to use with that was like the VIP membership with Steph made that PDF. So I did send that to a lot of people. And I would offer like a little goodie bag. And for a lot of the girls, I sent a little headband because I've just been obsessed with them. And I found some good ones that I loved on Amazon. And I could get like 4 of them for like $20 or something. So it was worth my money to do that because it just helped me advance that much quicker because they're like, okay, like, and 2, I would try to word signing up, I would say like for my VIP membership, and, you know, it helps with the discount on Shakeology. And I would say, you know, I felt like before I'd be like, Shakeology by itself is $130 plus shipping. Sometimes I was like, you know, they probably read that and that scares them right away. So I would say with the discount, Shakeology is $97. But if you're buying it by itself, it's going to be $130 plus shipping. And I would tell them too, I would tell people up front, you know, you're going to have the membership fee. So it's about $123 versus $135-ish. So I tried to switch up my language of that too, which I think maybe helped. I don't know. My personal development that I started reading in the beginning of September was The Slight Edge, which I feel like is an oldie but a goodie. And I had read it a while ago, only like halfway through. So I had it there on my bookshelf and I was like, okay, I'll just try The Slight Edge again because it was there. And I felt like that really helped me because it was like, if I do my invites every single day, like it's just the little things that are going to accumulate over time and make a big difference. So it was almost overwhelming, not overwhelming, but to like think of like 10xing sometimes for me, because I thought, how can I 10x when I can't even like get my regular stuff done? So I thought, you know, if I'm doing my vitals every single day, the little things, that's going to accumulate too. So that was the personal development book that helped me a lot. But like I said, I do think for me it was just the mindset shift that made a big difference. And I think we're all capable of doing it. Really, we just have to put in the work and the time. Kind of more action steps that I took. And it was kind of, I feel like the first part of September was honestly me just like really reaching out to my current customers and being like, girl, here's a discount. You're buying the products. You need to be on like my VIP membership thing. I signed up my mom and Ebony. We have been like working and talking, coaching for a long time. And so she was then ready. And then we got her to Emerald really quick because she just pushed for her. And I kind of encouraged that as well. But so that was kind of like my first part of September. But then the last part of September, I feel like I kind of got into this new process of like inviting through my Instagram, and it's really made a huge, huge difference. And I did end up getting the Instagram jumper media or whatever that's like increasing my followers. And for me, that was an investment that I wanted to make in my business. I know there are other like apps and things out there that can help you that might not be, maybe more in your price range. I'm not sure. But I did end up doing that. So that helped with my adding of my people. But kind of that last part of September, anyone that was watching my stories, anyone that liked a post, they have been invited to my October challenge group. Also, I've kind of bumped up my invites a day to like 30, which sounds crazy. Like even in the beginning of September, I was hardly doing like 10. Like 10 was hard for me, but just kind of having the mindset shift that if someone's following me on Instagram, they're in my business. So they follow me. They like, for someone to follow me, if you go out and you follow someone, what do you look at? You look at their posts and you watch their stories. So if they start following me, I assume that they look at my posts and they look at my stories. So like, okay, they know what I'm about. They know I'm about health and fitness. They know that I'm a mom. And if they've seen some of my challenge group posts, then they know that I run challenge groups and help other women. So to me, if they're a follower of mine, then I send them an invite. So literally, if I have on one of my Instagram stories, if I was talking about a challenge group, everyone that watched it got an invite. And then anyone that liked a post, they got an invite. And if I wasn't at like 30, or if I just felt like I wanted to do a few more, I would literally go through the alphabet and invite people. And now I would take, instead of being like, I'm going to have this many new conversations a day and like track them and everything, I would just have blocks of time to be like social on social media. I didn't track any of those people. I just kind of talk to people and comment and like on people's pictures. And that's how I've been like just being social, I guess, and growing relationships with people. And it made me kind of nervous to just send what I feel like have been told is like a cold invite, but I've got a lot of really, really good responses from it. So that kind of encourages me more. And literally my invite has been like, hey girl, happy Sunday. I don't know if you've seen my posts, but I'm starting a new challenge, or I'm starting a Fall Into Fit community in October. Would you be interested in more details? That's what I've been saying. Probably more than like a lot of these people I've never had conversations with before. And honestly, a lot of them will respond back to me and say yes. So I want to kind of show you. I can screen share, right? I just click the button. Maybe. Is it seen?
Yeah, it's good.
Okay. This is the first time I've ever invited this many people or anything like that. But guys, it's simple. And like I said, if you're just in the mindset, if people are following you on Instagram, they're in your business. They know what you're about. Okay. So, and that's something too. I mean, that makes you realize, okay, my content has to be good. I have to have call to actions out there. I need to be present on social media every single day, like doing my workouts, drinking my Shakeology, and just like talking about my challenge groups. So that's helped me stay accountable too, is because if you're getting new followers and things like that, they need to know what you're about. Even the people that maybe are your followers that start watching or don't like or anything, but people need to know what you're about when they come to your page. So as you can see, I have invited 270 people for October. And like I said, this probably started like halfway through September. And I've never had this many people come back to me either. So when I send them the invite, I feel like this just shows I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say, yes, I'm interested in more details. And even if like from a lot of those people, I have 6 people in my October group. But to me, I'm looking at this number that I have 29 people for next month that I can follow up with, because like we went through the process of, they gave me more information about them. They told me, we kind of talked about a program, we talked about a price, and then maybe they gave me an objection like, no, it's not a really good time, I'm busy, or, I can't commit to that price right now. But we get those objections no matter who it's from. So the fact that it was kind of like a colder invite, that kind of gives me a lot of hope. And I had 30 people not interested. So, and 15 people, they're like, no, I'm already in a challenge group or something. So a lot of these people responded to my posts or responded to my invites. I was always really kind of amazed when I would send out a bunch of different invites, and then that day, like the next day when I'd look, I'd have like 4 people. They're like, yeah, like, sure, I'll take more details. And I was like, okay. Like sometimes I would just send them and be like, okay, probably no one, like none of these people I've talked to before, but what the heck, I'm going to send them. And a lot of times they would come back and be like, yeah, I'll take more details. And I think that was something too that I found key was I always ended it as, I'm starting blank challenge group. Would you be interested in more details? Because anyone might say, yeah, I'd love to hear more details. But sometimes when I found previously, when I would say, do you want to join? they're like, no, I don't want to join. Like, I don't know what that's all about. So when they just say yes to more details, then that kind of gives them a little more leeway just to kind of figure out more. I liked Google Streak a lot because these people that I invited, I could flow them through the process, and this kept me a lot more accountable to really know who I'm following up with. And I don't know if anyone's ever looked into Google Streak before, but you can simply like change the box that they're in. So then even anyone, if they go from like interested, I sent them a Google form, then I can follow up with them and I can flow them through this process here. That's very easy for me to see visually, and it's easy for me to know to follow up with people. So like a lot of these last calls today, a lot of these people that were in the last call were previously up in my other ones, and I just sent them a message today and was like, hey, we're starting Monday. Are you still interested? Is there anything you have questions on or something like that? So Google Streak has been helpful for me. And then the last thing that I want to show you is that something that's also made it very helpful, because a lot of these people are someone that I haven't talked to before. If they say yes to my initial invite of, yes, I'd like more details, then I have a Google Forms, which, guys, these are so easy to set up, so don't let it like scare you. But I give a little blurb of what it's about. I ask for the email address. So then even if they don't commit to me or anything like that, I always have that to maybe send like a monthly email. I don't do that now, but I hope to. Or just so you have an email address from them, their IG handle, and then their name. I ask where they're from, United States, Canada, UK, or other. Tell me a little bit about themselves. Do they currently work out? If you've been working out, what do you do? How much time do you have to work out? Those have been enough for me. Those couple questions have been enough for me to really figure out, like, if they're working out, what they do, and then maybe like if people do work out, usually I've been steering them more towards Lift 4 because I think it's a very easy program to, like, it's a good mixture of things if you've been working out. If people haven't been working out, then usually I steer them to like 21-day fix. So these couple questions have helped me know where to steer people. And then I also ask, like, is nutrition a strength or weakness? Do you struggle with overeating, cravings, or binging? And just knowing those two simple things gives me a good reason to help them, to help me tell them why Shakeology can be so beneficial for them. So it's not just like me saying, oh, it's really good superfood shake, you should add it into your diet. Add it into your diet. Like, maybe if they say yes to the cravings, then I can say it'll help lower your cravings. If nutrition is a weakness, then I'll kind of add a little blurb into there how Shakeology can be beneficial for that. So then I just ask, like, when you look in the mirror, what do you feel? What do you see, and how do you feel? And then what would be your goal for the next 30 days? I tried to keep it short and sweet so that it doesn't overwhelm people, and it's some easy questions they can do and then will send back to me right away. But I also feel like it's enough questions that I get good information from them. So that's been very helpful too. So like I said, they will respond to my initial invite with maybe like a, yeah, sure, or yeah, I'd be interested. And then I say to them is, awesome, girl. And then I'm like, honestly, it'll help me the most if I can learn more about you and how I can help you in this journey, or how this community would be, if this community would be a good fit for you. So I kind of put it back on them. Like, I need to learn about you and see if this is good for you. And then we can go from there. Like, thanks so much. I can't wait to read about you. And from there, I've had 28 people respond, which I feel like it's pretty good. I'm going to stop. I don't know how to stop my screen share. Stop share. Let me try that. Did that stop it? Yeah. So that's kind of the main things I wanted to say. First, I feel like the big thing was just like a mindset shift, but then kind of the second half of the month was just like going for it and just like inviting people. I think it's very important to have conversations and be social on social media. But if you're talking to someone and fitness doesn't come up, like, that's okay. Just, if they're following your page, they know that you're about fitness. So it's not going to hurt. And sometimes I would like invite someone. I'm like, oh, there's probably no way that she would be interested, or, I don't know. And they would say, yeah, sure, send me details. So then I'd send in the form, they'd fill it out, and we would go from there. So, and like, I've had a couple people, which really surprised me, like already say, I think I'll wait till like the new year. And I'm like, no, like this is so much time right now. But at the same time, I'm like, okay, that's a good follow-up that I have come January. So I think it's not only thinking about how many people purchased from them, but also how many people I have to continue to invite. So, and follow up with. I think that's all I wanted to say.
Amazing. 28 responses is amazing.
Yeah.
So I took notes and I have a few questions, but I think I'll have Nikki go and then we'll just do questions at the end for everybody.
Okay.
Cool with that? You did awesome.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, Nikki, I'll let you unmute yourself and you are up, girlfriend.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Great job, Maria. Okay. So Steph asked us to speak, and I wrote down a couple tidbits that I thought would just kind of like guide how, what kind of has helped me in the last couple months with all of this. And I want to first start by saying that like all of our leaders really have a ton of knowledge. And I think that when the girls came out with the initial, saying about having if you reach for diamond and you get it and you stick with it and we do it as a team, like there'll be perks, like you'll be able to go on vacation and you'll be able to do this. And like, there's so many opportunities for you if you make that shift. And I messaged Allison and Stephanie, and I was like, I can't believe that I am like freaking out right now because I'm starting school again and I have 2 kids and a family and I can't do this at a full-time job. And I placed all the stress on myself. And then the community came around me, I felt like, and they were like, what are you talking about? You can so do this. Like, just do what you've been doing, be you, and you got this. Like, don't think about a time frame. Just think about putting in the work and it will come around. And I was like, okay. So legitimately, like from that moment on, because I had people in my corner believing in me, I kind of switched my mindset, like Maria had said. And I realized after listening to some podcasts and doing personal development that everything that we do is not going to hurt anybody. We're not selling anything that is going to, ruin somebody's life, or it's a waste of money, because we offer health and fitness and wellness in a community of women. So if we believe in that and we truly, truly just are positive about it and don't talk down about like any of the product, like Shakeology. Yeah, it's expensive, but guess what? It's totally worth it. Like, you're not going to find another item out there that's like this. And you just are confident and you promote the community and you promote what we do. And if you put in the work and, you will see benefits. And I think that mind shift right there, it was like, well, I'm not afraid to invite anymore. And just like Maria, Stephanie had started talking about non-negotiables. And from that moment on, I was like, I'm going to start listening to the 10X rule. And I made it where I do 10 invites. I do everything. So I made like an easy spreadsheet because I'm a paper person. I tried Teamsy. I tried a couple other things and like spreadsheets online, and that doesn't work for me because I felt like I was inviting and then putting it over into the spreadsheet, and it was too much for me. So instead, I just made this simple spreadsheet. Like, there's no graphics on it, nothing. And it literally is like 10 of each. And when I fill it out, and like when I'm on a roll, I'm on a roll. Like, I just keep filling it out and just keep writing next to it. And I write my notes, and then I put it in my binder. And I put each page on top of the other one. And that's how I pretty much track everything. So I have it in front of me at all times. As I'm inviting, I'm writing, or I go and I just invite, and then I write it all down based on the emails that I sent out. So it's very easy for me to track it. I could be at work and I go back, like, and that was another thing. Stephanie asked if I would talk about how like what I really focus on if I'm really busy, since I am in school. I pretty much break my entire day down into pockets of time, and I work out first thing in the morning, which most of you guys have probably seen me jump on at like 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the morning, because that's Nikki time. And after that, I drive to work and I drink my shake, and then I get to work 10 minutes early, and then I try to send out at least 5 to 10 invites or add new people, and I do stuff before I walk into work. That way I feel at least I'm accomplished, and I've started my day. I've started like my routine. And while driving to work, I listen to my personal development, because for me, reading puts me asleep. And audiobooks, I think, are amazing. And it's actually quite funny, because several of them, like this one by Gary Bishop, he is like Irish or Scottish, so his voice is hilarious to me, but it was really humorous to listen to. But like the 10X rule, amazing. The 5-second rule, that was like my number one for the longest time. Like I've listened to that one over and over again, because Mel Robbins is amazing. And right now I'm listening to Girl Wash Your Face, and I love that one too. So those are like my top 3 that I have totally loved lately. But when I go back, and as my day progresses, like if I have a couple minutes and my patients aren't back, I'll send out a message. And if somebody responds to me, I respond back to them, because that's the time that I have during my day. So then they feel like, oh, hey, I'm being accountable. I'm getting back to them right away. They're not having to wait all day. And then as I'm going through my lunch hour, I have my sheet in front of me. Like I just fold this up and I put it in my pocket. So it literally goes everywhere with me. So I'm constantly tracking as I go. So I'm never like behind. And then it goes into like the best part. So like after I started tracking for like a week, let's say, okay, so today's Sunday. So I'm looking back right now at like Monday and Tuesday's page that I have. Everybody I invited on Monday or Tuesday, those are my follow-ups if I haven't responded back to them already. So I always have at least 10 people to follow up with, because I have my tracker sheet. And that I found was super huge, because I was always like, everybody always talks about the invites and the follow-ups. Like, this is like the most important area. Where am I going to get that from? Oh, on my tracker sheet. So I just go back and I follow those. And then, so another thing that I shared with Stephanie one day is I was on my phone, which this is like the coolest thing ever, right? Because we have it like everywhere with us. And I realized that at the top, and I'm not sure if you guys know this, but at the very top of your instant messenger, you have like a column that says active. And those are all the active people that are on instant messenger and Facebook right now. So a lot of times people are like, oh, this person ghosted me. They haven't gotten back to me. Or, I don't know if they even saw it. Well, if you go to that active screen, all of those people are there. So if you haven't contacted anybody, or you're looking for people to invite, go through that active, list. Like I have 225 people that are active right now. I know I can find 10 people on that list that I can invite, or say, hey, I recently saw you looking at my stories, which that's another thing. I just started really focusing on Instagram and Facebook stories. I post every day at least 3 pictures to those, and you can see who is on those routinely. And just one of the recent calls that Allison posted, I want to say, in our group, it was the girl that said, and it was like it was the funniest response, but she's like, I made these googly eyes in the emoji, And I posted, "Hey girl, I see you watching me." And she's like, "Are you ready to join my group yet?" And that's all she said. And all these people were like, "Yeah, what are the details about it? Because I follow you all the time." So if you look at your Instagram stories or your Facebook stories and those same people are constantly following you, even if you've never messaged them, that is them communicating with you. Like, invite them. So I've been just going through those lists, and because the Instagram and Facebook stories rotate every 24 hours, make sure you get on and you look at those to see if there's anybody new or anybody you can follow up with. But those are easy like leads into inviting and following up with. And just like keeping it simple, like, "Hey, you ready to join my group? I know that it was busy last month, but hey, let's rock and roll. Like, there's some amazing results happening. Are you in?" So, and then let's see. That's Maria's note. I wrote Maria a note. I just said like the non-negotiables were really like, I have to get into 10 invites and ads. And, sometimes I'm sacrificing, TV time at night with my kids. I try to do it like when they go down, or if they're watching a movie or they're, playing or something, I'll get on my phone real quick in between being active with them. I get up in the morning, like so I don't have to work out all the time with them, but then sometimes I include them and then I post everything. So posting your life and being raw, I think is really, really big. Like I work around a dog and kids playing under my feet and I still work out, and I show people like, you're always going to be busy. You just need to make the decision. You need to decide to do it because your life is worth it. And I promote that a lot. And, let's see, inviting, Instagram, non-negotiables. Oh, and I always say too, Maria had a good point. So like when you are responding back to people and I say, "Hey, are you willing to join this?" I think that the wording that you use is important. And I have been sharing a lot of Stephanie's, all access on demand, that sheet, the VIP sheet. It's easy. It's like colorful. It'll grab their attention. Everything is stated there, and it's easy for them to understand without you having to regurgitate it, in a text message. But I think that focusing on letting them know it's about them is huge too. So if somebody says, "Well, what is this group about?" I always say, well, first I kind of want to understand your goals. What are your health and fitness goals? Are you looking to lose weight? Are you looking to tone? Are you looking for, nutrition? Are you looking for all the above? And then I'll send them my Google form, because I have a Google form too. Or if they're really wanting to know like cost and price, I'll say, get back with me on that, because I want to help gear my suggestions based on you, because this isn't about me selling you something. It's realistically having you succeed on this health journey with us, because you have to put in the time. And I tell them, like, realistically, you need to sit down and figure out how many days you can commit to working out. Because if you don't put in the time and you don't put in the meal prep, or even if you're not a meal prepper, but you want to eat healthier, you need to put in the work, because this is about a lifestyle change. It's about a habit. So I lead with that. Like, this is about you. This is not about me. If at any time you're unhappy, you can cancel. Like, that's fine. But you'll have a community of girls surrounding you. And that is one of the biggest things, is accountability. And a lot of people recently really need accountability. And that's their biggest like grab out of my post is, do you need accountability? So I think that's pretty much it, like, for big things. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you, girl.
Mm-hmm.
So good. So if anyone has any questions for either of them, just unmute yourself. I have a few, but I can let you guys kind of go first for either of them with what they're doing. If you need any clarification, I will share how to do Google Forms for people that were asking about that, because they are super simple. So I'll just ask. But if you guys have, oh my God, sorry guys, my chair is clearly broken. Are you finding that people are giving you good feedback with the form? Like, do you feel like people are okay with taking the time to do it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have, and I even find like sometimes I'll send it and they don't fill it out. I'm like, oh, but then I send a message. I'm like, hey girl, I just wanted to follow up. If you're still interested, just check out the link, fill out the form, and I'll be back in touch. And then like after that, it's like they'll send it to me like 15 minutes later, or something like that. I think the initial sometimes send, and then maybe they like look at it and they're like, oh, it might take me a few minutes. I won't do it right now. That's what I figure they think. And then once I send that follow up, then I usually get a really good, like they'll usually fill it back out. And I find like too, like talking about the goals and the one about like looking in the mirror, like people really open up. Like I think they like that you want to know about them. So
yeah, your questions were really good because I have a similar form, but some of your questions were really good to leading into like Shakeology and how that can help too. So, and yeah, in the past, I don't think you could have clickable links in in the messaging part of Instagram, but now you can. So like Maria was saying, if you just send the link to your form, then they can click it and it'll open on their phone.
I also wanted to say for Instagram, talking about sending the link, Allison, you talked about sending like I guess you would say like pre-scripted, like words that I'm saying a lot, like keeping them in your typing or whatever. Well, Instagram has a way to do that too. When you're in your Instagram Messenger, it has like when you have a message pulled up, it has like 3 little dots. You can click on that and then you can save some of the wording that you're using a lot. So I've put my Google Doc form link saved in my messages that I send to people. So because before I was like going to Google Forms and copying it and pasting it each time, where now I have that saved as well as one of my like pre-scripts or whatever. And that's helped a lot.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
I found too that if they're not filling out the form, I'll just say, hey, do you have a second or, a couple minutes that I can call you? And I'd love to answer any questions that you have over the phone. And I'm going to be honest, at least 8 times out of 10, the people that I talk to are like so interested. They're like, send me the information, I'm signing up. And they start with some package or something that we have because they can hear my excitement over the phone. And I'm able to reiterate, their goals. It's about you. You like, what can you share about your story with me so I can get to know you? And that's better than talking to somebody through messaging them just online and just doing it through a text or by that. And, yeah, you're calling somebody, but most cell phone plans now are unlimited anyway. So it's not like really a big deal to call somebody. And I find that it's just easier than texting the entire time because then you're delaying, a lot of that stuff. So
That's true.
Hey guys, I have a question. How are you?
Hi, Jen.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, so I think that's where I struggle, where I get people interested, and I'm like, I don't know what to really send them. So do you send them the form and have that conversation first, or depending on how I interacted with them, be it they commented or liked on an energized post, or say they've liked I asked them just briefly, hey, do you struggle? Most often I'll ask, like, do you struggle with fitness, or do you struggle with nutrition? Like, which one of those things would you think you would need more help with? And then try to figure out what to send them after that. But do you do the form and do the conversation, and then what do you do? Do you have a set things when they answer those specific things that you just like shoot off to them, or just through the conversation, then they end up kind of like, okay, I want to do X, Y, Z and signing up?
Maria, do you want to go first? Do you want me to?
You can go ahead.
So Jen, you just want to know if after they fill out the form, how did then they respond?
Yeah, like, well, when you're saying, so Maria's like, well, I asked them for, she was saying how she's like, well, can I send you some details? And then you don't send them anything. Like, so then what do you send them? You're like, oh, here's a form, instead of sending, you know what I'm saying? Like that conversation.
Yes, they're interested in the details, then I will say, awesome girl, like I'm so excited to share more about the group. Or I'll even say like, it's
Hold
a
on
lot.
1 second. I'm sorry. Hold on. Can you hold on 1 second? How do you get in my trunk?
Yeah.
Turn the key. Sorry, my card is dead and they're trying to start. Turn the key twice on the right side. On the door key. Sorry. My car, I didn't drive my car today, and for some reason the battery is dead, and my husband and son are trying to jump it.
Oh no.
So I'm trying to listen to you and they're like, what? Okay.
So
Sorry. Go ahead.
if they want more details, even though I'm not giving them any more details right now, I'll say like it's going to be a community full of just like fitness, good nutrition, good, easy, simple nutrition, and a community of ladies. But I would love to hear more about you, kind of what your fitness level is, and if this would be a good fit for you. And then I will send the form, and usually they have been good about filling that out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think having the forms too is good, so that like, because people will say, well, how much is it? And then, I mean, it ranges from like
Right.
what we
Yeah,
want.
I've had
So
that. Yeah.
just saying like, well, if I can learn more about you, I can then lead you in the right direction of giving you like guiding you to which product would be best for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
And if they ask like one of my responses is, you know, have you ever heard of Beachbody, or do you know of anybody that currently uses like Beachbody on demand? And if they respond back to me with that, then I say, you know, the girls and I use an online at home like workouts. They're accessible from your phone anywhere, anytime. And I just say each program comes with a meal plan. The accountability groups are super supportive. And depending on what you're looking for and what goals you want to reach, you know,
Right.
I can best help
Right.
with that based on what your goals are and what you want to accomplish. And then I kind of steer them like, and then that's where the Google form comes in, because you say like, oh, do you like
Right.
yoga? Do you like martial arts? Do you like weightlifting? And you can
Right.
say, out of this, you
Right.
probably would be best fit for, you know.
So I think it's happening probably with me and the disconnect and stuff like that is that I'm not asking enough questions. I'm not getting them to kind of bring out what they really need to do.
and I feel like that's where Google Forms have been very helpful for me, because I think it's good. Like you can give them a general idea of what like our challenge groups are, you know, the fitness, the accountability, and everything like that. But then the Google Forms, you can get all those questions answered kind of in a timely manner, you know, like sometimes conversations back and forth, it just takes forever.
Right.
So I think Google Forms is really nice because you're learning all that information.
Yeah. And I haven't been using them. I did for a while. And then, so yeah, that's what I'll be doing tonight. Recreating my Google Forms.
That's been very helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks,
It's super
guys.
simple to like do as well.
I mean, I've used them in the past and I just haven't I fell out of sending them. I was trying to message and catch people and have one-on-one conversations. And then the initial spark is like, forget it. Like other things come up, or all of a sudden they're like too busy, or, you know, I think it allows for too much, for those excuses to come up and stuff. So,
and I have in my link tree on my Instagram under Fall into Fit community, if anyone wants to see my questions or whatever, so you can get access to that on my Instagram.
Yeah, that's on my list too. So
I think
you can see my questions on my Instagram.
Okay. I think at the very end of a lot of my conversations too, like I plant the seed that I'm going to connect with them again too. So if they say, oh, I'm really busy right now, you know, I have X, Y, and Z going on, I'll say to them, regardless if they say maybe down the road, I say, well, you know what, why don't I reconnect with you in a few months or closer to the holidays? That way we can see and revisit it then, because I know you're interested. And then that way, when I do follow up, that shows my accountability, and I put it in my notes. I have like a sheet of paper in my binder, but I also have it under my notes in my like under my reminders in my phone.
Yes.
And I just put like a month, or I put like around the holidays. And that way when that comes up, it automatically reminds me, oh, I probably have 15 people right now that said not right now around Thanksgiving, December, or like December. Right. So I'm like, perfect, because now that's leading into Shaun T's thing coming out right around the new year. And if we get them going before that, then they'll already be ready to go.
Right.
You know?
Right.
So perfect. Yeah, I always end with, oh, I'll don't worry, I'll touch base with you. And then I always, even if they say no, because a lot of people are like, no, thank you. I'm like, okay, you guys have a great weekend, you know. And then a couple of days later, I still message somebody just so they know that it's not all about a sale. It's about a relationship, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
Maria, are you doing business invites too, or strictly like your fit community?
A lot of these were all fit community. Kind of, I feel like earlier September I did a lot more coaching wise, but then I'll still do coaching wise depending on like the person. Mm-hmm. But
do you do a different streak pipeline?
Yes, I do have a different one.
Cool.
Yeah. That's why I like streak too, is because I can shift people around depending on where I invite them. And even like anyone that's in my October one that I invited to, like if I end up inviting them to the coaching opportunity, I can put them in a different pipeline. And there's a different, like, I just try to keep tabs on notes and like dates that I last connected with them, or a date that I sent an invite.
And you're putting even the people that ignore you in there?
What's that?
Are you putting even like the people that ignore you in there? Because now that we're doing like 30 a day, I feel like it's a lot.
I have been, and I haven't decided if I will keep that. I probably will, because that's how I have 270. Like, those are probably the people that haven't responded, you know. But I think I will, because then I can still reconnect with them, and I don't completely lose them. So then I can invite them in, and they're like, okay, she's really like meaning business because she keeps asking me, like she's legit. Right. I know some people don't, but it's been easy for me. I write them down all on paper as I'm going, and then I can easily put them into Google Streak just by my like paper, and it doesn't take me as much time that way. And then too, once they respond back, I can flip them to a different group thing, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah, I've liked
good stuff. You guys did awesome.
Thanks.
Does anyone else have any questions? So I'm just gonna kind of go over like what I feel like Maria and Nikki both exceed. Oh yeah. Did someone have
a question?
Oh, I had a question. Has anyone ever used Close? The program Close?
No.
Okay.
I haven't heard of it.
What is it?
I never bought the upgrade that the app purchases, but I had the free version, and it tells you when you haven't contacted someone in such and such. Like it prompts you with a notification that says, "Hey, you haven't talked to such and so," and like you tell them that you want to talk to this person, you know, at least 4 times a year. And it prompts you, it sends you a notification that you haven't talked to this person since such and such date. Cool. And it's an app, and it like links to your calls and everything, so it kind of keeps track of everything.
That's good to know.
It's spelled a little differently. I'm trying to look it up right now while we've been talking, because I haven't used it in a while, but I think it would be really helpful with this business.
Yeah. Let us know.
Can you message me that?
When
you find it.
Yes.
Everybody, this is Jen, by the way.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Jen. Oh, your shirt's funny.
Yeah.
Because she's vegan.
It's that's like the main question I get is like, well, where do you get your protein? And it's so this shirt is grilled peas, So,
Yeah, so if anyone has any vegan customers or
same place that all the animals get their protein,
Yeah.
like, so.
just go to her if you have vegan questions.
Right.
Yes.
All right. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for that tip. Let us know if you figure that out. I wrote it down too, so I'll look it up.
Okay.
So I feel like consistency with their posting has been like on point. And because of the way that they're inviting and just always looking to see who likes their stuff, seeing who interacts on their posts, seeing who's watching their stories. Obviously, the more content, the more love, the more value you're putting out, the more people you have to be inviting. And so keeping that like really consistent, they're both open with their everyday, whether their day is good or bad. So that's something they've definitely been awesome with. Both setting up calls with me, like sending me their trackers, even when I don't ask them to. Like Nikki will just be like, here's my tracker today, Steph, because she needs to do it to keep herself accountable. So them just doing things like that is, they're just using me as their accountability, but like they're taking it upon themselves to do it. Showing me their sacrifices. I know that Maria, as pregnant mom, like she's super tired. And there were times that she sent me her tracker at 11 o'clock at night. And we all know Nikki gets up at 3:30 in the morning to work out, which is like amazing. So just doing those little things really does matter. And Nikki shared a lot with me as she was listening to the 10X rule, and she really picked up a lot of those things from that. And I feel like she really was implementing what she was learning, because we can like learn PD all day, but if you're not implementing it, it's just a waste of time. So I felt like they really dove into that. And if one of them, was having a bad day or a bad few days, they realized they hadn't been doing their personal development. So jumping back into that. So really making sure that you guys are doing that. Running their own, Maria was running her own coaching events and challenge groups with Shelby, I believe. So she was doing that every single week. They were going to coffee shops. They were doing different ways of doing coaching events. So just taking that upon herself to do that as well. Nikki getting people on the phone all the time. So she, like, as soon as someone has a question or they're not sure, she's like, let's just get on the phone. And that's how I feel like she did a lot of closing, in person and on the phone. So that was something I felt like she stepped up a lot with doing. And both of them just setting really big goals. They both sent me their goals for the next month, and they're both like, this is probably crazy stuff, and I don't know if I can do this, but these are my goals. But that's what I feel like they've grown to do, because their mindset is just different now. And so they know that they have to set really big goals to push forward. And if they fall short, then they're probably a lot further than if they didn't set those big goals. So those are just some things that I've noticed from them the past month or two. But their mindset has just been, to me, has just been like, tell me what to do and I'll do it. And they just have been making sure they do it and having those non-negotiables. So I'm super proud of both of you guys. You're both hustling, and it's definitely paying off. So I have no doubt that you'll be hitting your goals before the end of the year, which I'm really excited about too. So I think that might be it. Anyone have any last questions before we hop off? If you have any specific questions about, their invites, anything like that, let them know. But Nikki, I do love today. I used your active on Messenger, and I invited like 20 people from Facebook like that, just from the couch. So it was super easy. So yeah, and just, I've been using the shortcut that Allison showed us. I have one for like, thanks for watching my stories. Would you be interested in my October group? Thanks for watching my stories. Have you ever thought about being a virtual coach? So those are like my two that I've been sending to people, depending on where they're at. If they're girls that are like tone it up girls, I'm just sending them virtual coach invites. If they're girls that aren't like doing something health and fitness related, then I'm sending them a challenge group invite. So depends on who you are talking to. But if you have those two options and you just can copy and paste those shortcuts, then it can be really quick. And I tell you, like Maria said, I've been getting tons of positive messages back, even if people aren't interested, being like, you're super inspiring. I already have a coach I'm working with, but I love watching your stories. And just getting a lot of positivity back. A lot of girls have been, like Maria, have been saying, yeah, I want more info, where I didn't think they would. Even with coaching, people have said they wanted more info. So, you really never know. And you can't just like, because you don't think they'll say yes, just invite them. If they're watching your stories every single day and they're liking on your posts, then just go for it, because they're watching you for a reason. So I think that's it. So thank you guys for taking your time out of to do this for us tonight. I think everyone learned a lot. And
you guys, real quick, Jen just messaged me. It's for that close. Just so you guys have it, you guys write it down. It's www.cloze.com. And it says relationship management, inbox, and contacts all in one app. Cool. So yeah, I'm gonna check it out. So thank you.